What's happening, Mr. Dylan Hubbard? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing fine, doing fine. So what is this whole Second Amendment that we are, Amendment 2 that we are speaking of?
Well, it's another great Second Amendment, right?
I mean,
it's not something that they are trying to get passed. This is something we are trying to get passed. This is something that fishermen wrote. This is not some magical thing. A lot of times you see these amendments to the Constitution and they can be these mythical 30-page documents that you need a PhD and a law degree to try to interpret, right? This is 3 sentences and it's very basic and it's enshrining our right to hunt and fish. Right now, hunting and fishing is a privilege and they've actually tried to criminalize it in certain states across our nation. And that's not okay with us. And so we want to enshrine our right to hunt and fish in our Florida state constitution, make it a constitutional right to further protect it, preserve it for generations. And it doesn't affect FWC's lawmaking abilities. It won't affect your need for a license. It simply does everything we're doing right now, everything the way it is right now, into perpetuity. And that's the goal, is making sure that we pass this Amendment 2. Yes, on to is the message. And we need as many people talking about this as possible because it needs a 60% majority to pass, which is concerning because that means it has to be nonpartisan, right? We need both sides of the aisle, red, blue, yellow, doesn't matter what political party you affiliate with. We need a majority of people to vote yes on Amendment 2. And there's a lot of disinformation, misinformation, and a lot of money and power going against this. And that to me is just a further reason to make sure that you're voting yes on it, because I don't want to see what happened in Oregon happen in Florida. And in Oregon, they literally passed a bill and the bill was moving forward, and that bill would have criminalized production farming, hunting, and fishing. And that's not okay. And we will be the 24th state to do this. So this isn't something new. This isn't something that's come out of the woodwork. This isn't some new stab at things. This is something that's established, and we'll be right along the train to do it with the rest of majority of the country. Like I said, 23 states have already done it.
that just
So I'm excited.
blows my mind that it's even something that, I mean, holy smokes, that people wouldn't want you to fish or hunt in general. Like, what?
Yeah. So
Holy smokes.
So Dylan, is it cut and dry? I mean, is there anything else tied to this, or is it just to the point?
3 sentences. I always encourage people to do your own research. I enjoy hearing about something like this on social media and digging into it for myself. Ballotpedia, all one word. It's like my favorite website to dig into things because it kind of shows you who's in support and who's in opposition of these amendments or these people or these constituents, and it will tell you the arguments for and the arguments against. If you go to Ballotpedia and you type in Amendment 2 Florida, November 2024, it outlines exactly what organizations are for, exactly what organizations are against, and it gives the arguments for and against. The organizations for this, I'm at an FWC commission meeting right now, and I was speaking at the podium at the meeting live, and the FWC commissioners, they said, "I like your hat," and they all said they were voting yes on 2. The FWC chairman, Rodney Barreto, sent out emails saying how he endorses yes on Amendment 2. So FWC is behind it, ASA is behind it, CCA is behind it, the Florida Guides Association is behind it, all Florida. Like, you think of an advocacy group in Florida that has some actual clout and actually gets things done, they are behind this and advocating for this. The people against this, the Humane Society of Florida, the number one argument on that Ballotpedia site goes something along the lines of, our wildlife is facing an extinction style event. It's time to end the carnage of our natural resources. We don't need the right to hunt and fish, essentially. So these are the type of people that are against us. The number one person, like the head guy in charge of the no on 2 people, that guy has owned a hydroponic meat company since 2012.
Wow.
Hydroponic meats. Like growing meat. Yeah.
Is it made out of cat?
It's as messed up.
Oh, wow.
It's as messed up as it sounds.
Wow.
And you know what? He just closed his hydroponic meat company last year. You know why? Because we passed a bill in the state of Florida. We were the first state to do it. We passed a bill in the state of Florida to make the manufacture and sale of lab-grown meats illegal in the state. And that company was closed due to that bill. So now that guy doesn't have a job. So they just gave him like $100,000 to run the No on 2 campaign. So that is the guy that we're battling against and his funders. And the guy in Tampa, like West Central Florida, who's in charge of passing out their political yard signs that say No on 2, you have to email the guy to get your yard signs. Guess what his email address is?
What?
Oh boy.
I am meatless, are you? I mean, this stuff writes itself. It writes itself. There's no reason that you should even take hesitation or pause when you check that box, yes on 2 this November 5th. So get registered to vote and show up and at least vote yes on Amendment 2. I don't care what else you do on your ballot, but you got to be registered. You got to vote yes on 2 for sure. We need it. We need it in perpetuity. I mean, 100%. Our conservation dollars, I mean, this is what boat ramps are funded by sportsman dollars. 20% of our wildlife corridor was funded by conservation dollars. Like so much. If you like clean water, if you like original Florida, you want Amendment 2 to pass. So even if you're not a hunter and fisherman, which I don't know why you'd be watching this great podcast if you're not, but even if you aren't, it makes no sense not to vote yes on 2. So we really need not only hunters and fishermen, but we also need their families, their friends, everybody talking about this because it's a big push. If this doesn't get done, people like the hydroponic meat people are going to be coming to Florida and knocking on the door, and it really opens up a scary path. For me, when I heard about this the first time, I was like, why do we need a constitutional right to hunt and fish? Can't we already hunt and fish? Like, I don't really get it. But after getting involved and after seeing all the money pouring in to vote no on 2 and all the power that's behind the money and all the hard work that they're doing to make sure that we don't vote yes on 2 has only further made it clearer to me why we as fishermen, as hunters, as outdoors men and women need to band together and make sure this gets done. Because if it doesn't get done now, it's not gonna get done. And the people who don't want us hunting and fishing are only going to spend more dollars in the state of Florida because they know we're not strong enough to fight it. So it's a scary, scary thing.
Absolutely. That is just wild thought. Holy smokes.
It is.
It's the day and age we live in, though.
Yeah, ultimately.
Now more than ever, we have to fight for our actual rights.
Yeah.
You know, we've said that as kids, but this is real. Like Zach, like Dylan said, that's why voting is so damn important.
Oh yeah, get registered, vote.
100%.
Yes on 2.